Welcome to another episode. Let's get into this video and see what questions we have. This is Paranormal, True or False. If you enjoy this video, it is free to subscribe, and I need your help to get to 1,000 subscribers. Is this thermal image a hit or a miss? The clip starts with an IR camera, then it switches to a thermal camera. When the thermal camera is pointed up at the upstairs windows, one window appears to have an image in it. Does the window on the right have someone standing in it? One of the things that I noticed when they point the IR camera up to the upper stories is the window on the left doesn't look like there's anything in the window, but the window on the right looks like it has a blackout curtain. If they use some type of a shade or a curtain and glued some type of an image onto that shade, you might get this effect with the thermal camera. The other option that you have is people standing on the other side of that blackout curtain, and because the curtain is cold, it may be picking up the body temperatures as cold. This shape is odd, in which if you look at the green part, it looks like there's one figure, but if you look at the blue part, it looks like there's two figures. Is this a Smokey figure, or is it just smoke? As the camera is turned on, we'll see a man smoking. Then that camera will be pointed outside. We'll see puffs of smoke fly in front of the camera. Then he'll zoom in on that electric bulb. A creepy smoky figure crosses in front of the camera. We see an odd giraffe-like figure running in front of the camera. Most likely this is just a puff of smoke from his cigarette, but because it's zoomed in, we don't have that same context that we saw earlier. Why did this chair fly? On the right we see a man sleeping restlessly. At the back of the frame we see a chair, and it will fly across the room backwards, out of sight. I've already reviewed 3 clips from this man's house, so I'm not convinced that anything that comes from him is paranormal. But if you haven't watched that episode, go watch episode 4. Anytime something is pulled off camera in a direction of a blind spot, I'm always assuming a string is involved. However, this might be a little bit more elaborate, in which he put a hook on the ceiling and ran the string through the ceiling so you get that uplift. Just because it looks like he's sleeping and it looks like we can see his hands, he used a rocket on a previous clip, so he could very easily remote control some type of rigging to recreate that effect. Is a ghost rolling the ball? The small ball in the middle of the frame will start rolling by itself. Is a string being used? Is a remote control being used? Based on all the clips I've seen, I think this gentleman is creating paranormal activity, not capturing paranormal activity. Who slammed this door? The camera is pointing towards a door when all of a sudden it slams shut with enough force to ruffle the curtains. So we have to ask all the obvious questions. Is there someone off camera who just grabbed the door and closed it? Was a string used to close it? Is this a pissed off parent or a pissed off spouse? Is this a ghost of a parent or a ghost of a spouse? Why did this bottle fall? In the upper left corner of our screen, we'll start to see a bottle move off the shelf before it falls. Was there any type of moisture or condensation under the bottle that caused it to slide? Is there a string attached? Security cameras normally don't move, they're very stationary, so I think this might be someone holding a cell phone camera, looking at the security camera monitor and recording this footage in that manner. So I don't think we have a vibration in the building or anything of that nature that's causing this activity. I can see how this might be staged using string, but this could also be paranormal. What is making this ghostly light? As we watch this rain being captured by the security camera, all of a sudden, in a couple of frames, we see just a very large ghostly light appear in the middle of the screen. Watch the timestamp. Multiple times they loop the seconds from 31 to 34. Then when it hits 36, the image appears. But then there's a cut in the footage from 36 seconds to 41 seconds. If you go back and watch episode 12, you will see that security cameras can create ghostly lights when it's raining, and it's all to do with refraction, and in this case it's caused by the IR sensor and the light from the IR sensor. So they manipulated this footage by wiping out 5 seconds and freeze framing on this image for 5 seconds, causing it to look like a ghost when in actuality it's just IR sensor and rainwater. Who or what moved this wagon handle? As we watch the lower right hand corner of the screen, we will see the wagon handle fly upwards and then drop back down. Is a string being used by somebody off camera? Or is this some type of a haunting where a ghost wants to get going? Saddle up and ride, or in this case, harness up and ride. Regardless of whether these clips are real or fake, I certainly enjoyed the creepiness of them, and I hope you did too. If you had any questions, put them in the comments below. Thanks. Be safe, and watch out for the non-paranormal threats. Much thanks to Jim Riley for the background music. You can click on the link to episode 4 or episode 12 that were referenced in this video. Also, it is free to subscribe, You can also follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. Thanks for watching.